manager. The cup is a little bit of glamour, but the beauty of the cup on Saturday was my first game, so I was here to put a marker down. And playing against league leaders who haven't been beaten was a good marker as far as I was concerned, you know. So getting through the competition, 1 ticks a nice box for me in my first game, 2 ticks a great box for the chairman because he wants a run in the cup, as all chairmen do. You don't want a little running in the cup and try and get some pennies through the door. That's as simple as it gets, you know, but Saturday's the important one for me. Emphasis on league form, emphasis on putting a marker down in the league as well. Sometimes you go after a game in the FA Cup in the early rounds and people are hunting around for score lines and, you know, can they get a report on the game and this, that and the other. That's because nobody really takes any notice in the early stages, whereas we do, we have to. But everybody takes notice of the league and everybody takes notice, okay, the last time I played in a league game there was the end of last season when I was representing Kidderminster Harriers, and if we had won the game we would have won the title and we didn't turn up. That can't happen. Doesn't happen normally in a Phil Brown team, and I'm hoping and praying that it doesn't happen at Peterborough Sports. When the two of us unite together, I want to see a battle. I want to see people fighting. 1 for the shirts, 2 to win the game of football. And if that happens on Saturday and we get another result, onwards and upwards, another cup game, and then Kidderminster Harriers. So there's always ways and means to look forward and ways and means to look at the game, but Saturday's about 90 minutes and I won't look any further. We're planning tonight, this Tuesday, Thursday evening is something I've got to get my head round, but I've got a lot of work to put into, a lot of information, and then it'll have 24, 48 hours to settle into the players, and hopefully by then they'll carry that instruction on Saturday and we'll try and win a game of football. It's as simple as it gets.
So let's just talk one more thing about the Cup. The draw hasn't been particularly kind. Another top of the table team, this time Harborough, and it's away from home. You got any thoughts on that? Do you know anything about them at all? Or?
No, not at the moment. As I say, my focus is on Southport and putting right the wrongs of the end of last season, you know, because it hurt me that day. So I've not really thought too much about it. When we were here on Tuesday, we got the cup draw and the chairman was dancing around because we were in the competition on Saturday, but all of a sudden we're drawn away against the top team. It's a tough game, but they always are, you know. And I don't think Hornchurch disrespected the competition by any stretch of the imagination, but they made 3 changes because, as all managers want to do at the early start of a season, the early stages, they want to get minutes into players. And it's difficult to get minutes into players when you've had a pre-season and all of a sudden you're playing your first 11, wins 6 games and draws 2. You're not going to be making too many changes. That's probably as strong as they're going to be. So getting minutes into the players in the squad is difficult. I thought he was going to make more than 3, but he made 3 changes because he didn't want to disrespect the competition, and we caught them out. I wouldn't have said they looked unfit or anything like that, but we caught them out because they looked a little bit, I don't know, a little bit dishevelled in the first 15, 20 minutes. And we exploited that in the first half, and then consequently when we got our injuries, they were forced upon us. People are coming off the bench and impacting the game because it's a case of needs must, but what an opportunity to impress the manager for the next game. That's the most important part. We've had a training session on Tuesday, again, very good, high standards have been set by the players, and hopefully again tonight, and hopefully we'll give the right information to the said 11 and they'll go out and turn in a good performance, and then we'll talk about Market Harborough.
So talking about changes and injuries, can you tell us anything about the team? There was lots of injuries last game in that cup game, but I think some of them were just knocks. Can you tell us anything about what the team's going to look like at Southport?
We had 3 players that went down and came off, 2 before half-time, 1 just after half-time, and again, I'm one of them managers that, you know, if a player doesn't finish a game, I'd find it very, very difficult to swallow if he was fit for the next game, because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you finish games of football, you get your match fitness from the last 10-15 minutes of a game, and then you build that up during the course of the season, and you've got a batch of fitness. And match fitness is totally different from being able to run on the training ground, and when you get that kind of a mentality from a player, you play 46 games that season. But we had 3 players limp out, and they were all fatigue related. maybe from the rigours of training, my first training session on Thursday night last week. Was I asking too many questions? No, I was asking a normal question, how fit are we? And, majority of the squad showed that. But 3 players, as you say, limped out, one with a hamstring, 3 muscular injuries, so that's a sign that it was from the rigours of Thursday. But, we'll have 3 replacements for them. I don't think any one of the 3 will be fit for Saturday. But we'll have 3 replacements for them, and we'll have a game plan. And that game plan will be designed to try and upset Southport's rhythm and the way they've changed their formation and the way they've changed their personnel. We think we've an idea of how they're going to play, and we'll have a game plan to try and match that and suit that. And it'll be 11 players that I'll name tonight, and as I say, they'll have 48 hours to think about it.
Okay, and just finally then, Phil, you told me after the Hornchurch game that you might have to reassess your planning and the way you attack this job. How do you feel about that a week on?
It'll be a longer term process for me. I'm still a 24/7 kind of person, 24/7 where football is concerned. If I showed you my week before I got the Peterborough Sports job, I would have been at Manchester City versus Napoli tonight, doing work for the BBC or doing work for the people at Manchester City, and then I was going to Hull, Southampton. That's totally changed. My total focus is on this club now, and trying to get a tune out of a group of players, adding 1 or 2, hopefully. The 2 that we brought in before Saturday's game, one of them certainly impressed, the other one's now got international clearance. Hopefully we'll have another player playing for us on Saturday and representing the football club, a new signing, but all will be revealed on Saturday. So that's 3 that have sort of got my DNA as opposed to Gashi's, say, for instance, or the previous management team. And DNA is a strange word, but it's a great conversation, because DNA of a manager, how can he pass that on to a group of players that cross that white line? But we do. We get in the change room, we mix in with the players, and they understand what's required or what you want. And what I want would be different from Gashi, just maybe small things. But it'll be a different way of playing, possibly, or a different way of approaching it. And neither one of us is right, and neither one of us is wrong. It's just our DNA. And hopefully, that team will be representing me as best they possibly can on Saturday, and certainly representing Peterborough Sports.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for talking to us, Phil. Good luck on Saturday. Look forward to talking to you after that one.
Thank you.